Fair use disclaimer. The copyright laws of the United States recognizes a fair use of copyright content. Section 107 of the United States Copyright Act states, notwithstanding the provisions of sections 106 and 106A, the fair use of a copyrighted work, including such use by reproduction, in copies or phone records or by any other means specified by that section for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, including multiple copies for classroom use, scholarships, or research, is not an infringement of copyright. This video and YouTube channel in general may contain copyrighted works that were not specifically authorized to be used by the copyright holders, but which we believe in good faith are protected by federal law and the fair use doctrine for one or more of the reasons noted above. Hey friends, old and new, welcome back to my channel. This disturbing and very confusing story comes out of Houston, Texas, of 25-year-old Rudy Farias, who went missing at the age of 17 back in 2012 while taking his two dogs on a walk. He said it all started because he received a speeding ticket and his mother told him he was going to go to jail. So she hid him for 8 years, y'all. Not to mention, she had him faking illnesses, telling the doctors that he was going to harm himself just to get attention. Y'all, this is Munchausen by proxy syndrome at its best. His mother, Janie Santana, was doing television interviews back in 2012 saying her older son passed away from a motorcycle accident. And since then, Rudy had been different. That's what she was telling the news people. Take a listen.
We couldn't talk to Rudy Farias face-to-face today because he's in the hospital. He's been there at least a month, ever since he blacked out at home, nearly scaring his mother to death.
I just lost a son, and when he hit the floor, all I could think was I can't lose another son. He's all I've got left.
We first met Rudy in February when he was trying to honor that other son, his older brother, Charles Uresti. He died in a motorcycle wreck. Charles was a Marine and more like a father than a big brother to Rudy. The 14-year-old, who, by the way, has cancer, wanted to honor Charles with a motorcycle procession to his gravesite. That's when Westboro Baptist Church started bullying him and threatening to picket. Now, Rudy has cerebral spinal fluid leaking into his skull, putting pressure on his brain. He's undergone several operations and has a feeding tube.
He doesn't deserve this. He doesn't deserve any of this.
Now, the bank has foreclosed on the family's home. Rudy has written frantic emails from the hospital to try to stop it. To the bank, to the mayor, to anyone he thinks might help. If not stop the foreclosure, then let him recover mementos from his brother. Things like photos and the flag Marines gave him after his brother's funeral. Things his mother says are set to be auctioned off with the contents of the house.
That's the only home he's ever known. But most important is his brother's veins. He wants his brother's veins. That's what he cherishes more than his own things.
I called the bank's lawyers to see if there was any way that could happen. He said he'd talk to the client and see what could be done. In the meantime, his mom wonders just how much longer Rudy's emotional strength will hold out. Strength that is keeping her going, too.
He's the one that tells me, Mommy, everything's going to be okay.
I noticed that there was people talking trash on your page.
Like, I don't get to babysit the comments the way I would like to. If I'm home, then I can see a lot of stuff when I'm home. But if I'm driving, I don't get to. I'm just constant. I'm either in Messenger or posting or driving. That's the three things I do.
Yeah. No, girl, I've been getting bombarded. I mean, the story made it all the way to the New York Post.
Yep.
To Germany, to Europe, to China. I mean, the news outlets have been blowing up my phone from all over the world. And then I got a call from Netflix.
Yeah.
GM something, Good Morning America. I even got a call from Lifetime because they wanted to do a movie on it. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
I said, I haven't even had my son a week, and you guys are talking about wanting to make a movie of his life?
Yeah.
God, what is wrong with you people?
It's, ¿Cómo está? How's Rudy?
So, well, he's not speaking. He'll like say a word or two, and he like if I try to hug him, he flinches and he'll kick me with his feet. And they said because if he was abused, he's probably used to that, kicking and then curling up in a ball.
Why is John Travolta in the news interview with his mother? When did he become a doctor? That's all I'm saying. And by the way, his brother was never in the Marines. He was never in the service. That was all a lie too. She did citywide searches for years, received all kinds of GoFundMe. At one point, someone thought they spotted Rudy. And when the police went to the house, she told them it wasn't him. Y'all, this is extremely disturbing. I have to say, viewers' discretion advised. This mother is sick. She's a monster. She told him that he had to be the husband, y'all, and had him sleeping in the BED with her. Okay? Activist Quinnell X got involved when, I believe she's the auntie, Grizzy, reached out for help, and he said he couldn't fight back the tears hearing what Rudy went through for 8 years. Y'all gonna get to hear a little bit of what Quinnell X had to say, and again, I want to say viewers' discretion advised.
So we asked him, why did you run away? And he said he just got tired of her not respecting his boundaries. And he went on to say that what troubled him the most was her crossing his personal space boundaries. He said that she would make him sleep. And he said that she made him play daddy. He said that he didn't like getting in, that he would try to sneak out of the bed and sometimes hide under the bed, but she told him he had to be her husband. That's that. That little boy said she was the one providing drugs for years, hallucination shrooms, etc. And that the reason why he was left, he was just tired of her crossing his boundaries. When he would shower, she would come and pull the shower curtain back and stare at him, and then she would make him bathe with the soap. And he ran away this time because he was tired. Listen, God, I ain't never in my life heard of a mother doing to a child what this woman did. I'm standing here speaking the truth of what Rudy said to me. And I'm standing here fighting for that young man. I begged the detective, don't allow Rudy to go home with this woman. Don't allow Rudy to leave with this woman. I begged them to do something to stop him. I said to the detective, all three of them, after what you and I just heard in that room with that young man, how in the hell can you allow that boy to leave with that woman? She been telling lies for years. So you mean to tell me, Houston Police Department, this woman can tell multiple lies to law enforcement. She can raise money all on GoFundMe pages. I talked with the investigator for at length today who worked on this case for years, the private investigator. She would raise money for Miss Jenny. And one time she said when she raised the money for her, she only came for 5 minutes, picked up the $2,000 and drove off and left, and didn't even thank the people who was raising the money on behalf of Rudy to look for him. I cannot believe, and I refuse to believe, that there's not a single charge that they can come up with to put this woman in jail. She had convinced the young man to wear an assumed name because he thought he was in trouble for running away. Rudy also said to us, me and the detective, on more than one occasion, he put his head down in tears right before he began to talk about him playing daddy at her request, and he got to be the husband. He has to be the husband is what he said. He said, I don't want my mama to go to prison. On yesterday, when the question was asked, was there the sergeant lied in his response. And then the next question was there a between the mother and the son? They refused to answer that question and said he's a victim and we protect all victims. If it wasn't for Grizzly, that mother never would have called me. But she called me thinking I was gonna help cover up with the lies she would tell and defend her. Man, let me tell you something. Everyone should be praying for Rudy and should be outraged with how this is being handled. That woman should be under the jail.
And Rudy has since came out and spoke, and he said that when the family would visit, he had to go hide in the house. And the grandmother lived there at the time, but she had dementia. And when she would tell the family that Rudy was there and that she saw him, the mom, Janie, would tell him, oh, she's hallucinating. I mean, this is just a hot damn mess, y'all. He also said that he never told anyone that his mother violated him. And that, just take a listen.
It's a lot of attention. It kind of gets me overwhelmed, you know. Other than that, I just try to stay positive, just try to keep my mentality straight and honest and true and just spread positivity and kindness,
So, the world thought you were missing for 8 years. Where were you? Where have you been?
Just at home. Just stuck at home, If somebody would come over, my mom would just tell me stay in the room, keep the door locked, don't let them in, don't make any sounds, don't do anything,
Tell us about what it was like living there. Were you allowed to leave the room? Was she holding you there against your will?
She never locked me in or, handcuffed me or anything like that. I had free will to leave. It just felt like brainwashing, honestly. It just kept confusing me, just the way, she would manipulate me into saying, oh, you're gonna get arrested because you have a speeding ticket or something, something minor, something innocent, and then it would just kind of escalate into just people
You're good.
Which is, yeah, it just escalated from there, from, just wanting to get away from home, just be free, live my own life, arguing all the time, and then we eventually just went into she locked me in there pretty much mentally, she was my only parent, she was the only person I really had besides my brother. So when I lost my brother, I didn't have anybody to teach me how to live, how to have confidence or trust in myself or anything, so I just depended on my mom all my life.
What had you been doing for those 8 years?
Just trying to study the best I can online, understand how the world works, understand different cultures, different religions, different everything, because in my life I just believe that we should stop putting labels on everything and just understand the communities and the prosperity and the growth and the positivity, because there's just too much fighting, there's too much anger, there's too much depression and mental health problems in the world.
Police said a lot of times that you were 17 when this happened and you're an adult. You spoke a little bit about this, about some of the family trauma you've had growing up. Talk about the fact that although you're an adult, how difficult it was for you to be in this situation and maybe not be able to get out of.
It felt like Stockholm Syndrome, honestly. just held against my will mentally, not physically, just constantly, like, she was bombarding me with negative thoughts, and like every time I come around her, she just makes me, it's like little triggers just pop up, and it's like if I'm trying to get away from my mom, I'll hear a random noise, and it'll be like a little reminder in my head, like, don't do that, don't say this, or, you know, just little things. Like, she's putting ideas or thoughts into my head whenever I'm just trying to, you know, just understand the world.
Do you think your mom took advantage of you?
Heavily.
Why do you think she wanted to keep you hidden?
I don't know. It all started just because I had a speeding ticket. I went like 70 and a 55 trying to go to work. And then when that all started, it's just like I wasn't able to have a life. I was starting to start working and growing and, you know, provide for myself. And then after that happened, I couldn't do it.
I think the question everyone has is why your mom would lie and say that you've been missing for 8 years. Did she ever tell you, or did you ever ask, Mom, why are we pretending that I'm missing?
That's the thing, when it comes to the real small details like that, I just can't, I don't remember. It's like it just blocks it out, like she's blocking it out for me or something. It's like I just want to remember the facts. I just want to understand, you know, who I am and what I'm trying to do, and just try to live my life the way I want to, not how she wants me to.
If you had to guess why she was doing this, was she making money from you being missing, as far as you know?
I don't know. I think somebody at one point mentioned something about an original GoFundMe page, and then my mom wanted to say something about, like, one of my aunts or something was like stole all the sodas or something. And meanwhile, where's all the money that they raised, you know, like, and where did that go to helping find me?
It seems like in this case, you didn't have the support there that you needed, and police seem so focused on your age that you were 17, which is an adult in Texas. But can you talk about the fact that yes, you were an adult, but the mindset that you've been in?
Yeah, it was just like a constant brainwashing, like the Stockholm type of syndrome, where it's just, you know, you just fall in love with your captive and just want to take care of them, do this and that, you know, like, it would just constantly just be me trying to help and just take care of my mom, do whatever she needs because I cared about her and she's the only person I had.
Did your mom, over this last 8 years, did she say anything, or like, is there anything that sticks out in your mind that bothers you, or that you remember conversations with her that
just, I don't know, I used to have to sleep in her bed sometimes. I don't remember why, just like next to her. There wouldn't be anything sexual or anything like that. I wouldn't lie about that because there's plenty of people that need honest truths when it comes to those things. That just muddies the water to lie about those type of things. That's where I said the media, they like to twist my words and confuse things. I never said anything bad about her in that regard, but, you know, just boundaries she would push or make me uncomfortable, and I would say stop, and she's like, well, why, what did I do? I didn't do anything wrong, you know. And then I would just be okay, you know, I didn't do anything wrong, and just leave it at that, you know. Just push my boundaries if you want, do whatever you had to do. And I would just be like a people pleaser, but I didn't have people to please, just my mom. I didn't have anybody to take care of or, you know, help understand me. It was just her all the time, my mom.
How hard has it been right now? I know that this is the only person you feel like you have had, and now that you're separated, how hard is it to make that distinction right now?
Just...
Do you want to talk to her?
No, not really. I don't want any contact with her at all. I just want to live my life away from her. She can do whatever she wants. I don't care. I just want to live my life. You know, I want to have a family, a job, a car, just a house. I just want to live my life.
This is just twisted, y'all. I couldn't imagine a mother doing something like that to her own child. I don't know, but my antennas are tingling with this case. The police, they has not brought any charges up on this woman, and I don't understand why. If nothing else, she should at least be charged for causing a whole nation search and taxpayers' dollars and time. This is just a mess. The police at one point was trying to charge Rudy. saying that him and his mother was in on this scheme and everything. So I don't know if that's the reason why they don't want to charge her, because they think that he was in on it. This is all alleged, but coming from Cornell X, that's what the police were trying to do in the beginning. This is just a hot mess. But I don't think that Cornell X is lying. I don't think that he will lie about something like this. And I don't understand why she's not being brought up on charges. I agree with Cornell X. She should be put in jail. But what's your thoughts on this? I like to hear what y'all have to say. Drop down in the comment box. Let's have the discussion. With that being said, y'all, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you already have it. And smash that notification bell so y'all see when I drop my next video. Stay blessed. Peace.